On this episode of Behind the Curtain, we are going to be talking about the fallout of Bad Blood, and I'm talking about things that happened after the show was over. There was a video shown around as Cody was attacked by Kevin Owens in the parking lot next to the bus, which took me by surprise. There's another video going around with Solo Sikoa telling something to Jacob Fatu due to The Rock's return. We're going to also talk about Drew McIntyre's picture that he's pretty much shared to everybody in X, the injuries he had on the Hell in a Cell against CM Punk. So we're going to have that and much more in the episode Behind the Curtain, courtesy of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Let's get this. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Curtain, courtesy of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, and we are here. This is after the fallout of Bad Blood, and I usually haven't done a Behind the Curtain since I had the interview with the owner of Breed Combination Wrestling, but I'm going to be doing much of this because it has to be done, especially when there's a lot of stuff going around and whatnot with news and all that stuff. So let's start off, first of all. We're going to start off with the video that we saw on Saturday night after the Bad Blood show was over. There was exclusive footage of Kevin Owens talking to Cody Rhodes by some parking lot area near the bus. And Kevin Owens kind of pushed Cody Rhodes, and then he just started attacking Cody Rhodes. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up because this pretty much answers my question. You know what I'm saying? The Rock came and showed up at the ending of Bad Blood. And the first thing that came into my mind was, well, this is the setup that's going to happen between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, which I will get to later on after I speak about the Cody Rhodes situation. But it seems that the plan is to put now Kevin Owens as the next challenger to Cody Rhodes. Now, this has all been boiling and brewing since Cody Rhodes wrestled Kevin Owens. And when I don't remember which event it probably was Bash at Berlin, and they had a great match and whatnot. But the funny thing is that Kevin Owens told Cody, I do not want to wrestle you for the world title. But Cody, being that he's a generous guy, he said, well, you know what? You deserve a title shot. Even though, Kevin Owens did not want no part of it, But the funny thing is that after they had the match, you could tell after the match when Cody beat Kevin, that Kevin looked like he wanted to do something to Cody, but hey, they're friends. The heat of the competition, let's slow it down, whatever. Pretty much the signs were there, especially after Cody accepted Roman Reigns to team up with Roman Reigns against the Bloodline. Kevin Owens was not too happy. And before that, he was showing that he wasn't happy. There was a tag team match where Kevin Owens was attacked. And I think he was teaming up with the Street Profit against the Bloodline. And Cody came in to save him. And it looked like Kevin Owens wanted to hit him with the chair. Now I said, you know what? Something's going to come out of this. Why are they putting Kevin Owens against Cody? But I thought about their match. There's still some type of animosity. Well, sure enough, and whatnot, there was arguments between these two guys where Randy Orton was trying to make peace with it. At the end of the day, the way I look at it, Randy Orton is going to turn on Cody, which sets up another match for Cody. Because I think what is going to happen is a bunch of betrayals, then it'll lead to The Rock. Because remember, The Rock, I haven't gotten into the Rock part, but The Rock is the main thing that's going to happen. But I have a feeling that Kevin Owens will wrestle Cody Rhodes at Survivor Series. So Cody Rhodes is not going to be in War Games. And the reason I say that, because that was what I said a couple of weeks and whatnot. After this whole thing with Roman Reigns came in and saved Cody Rhodes, I said, well, it looks like Kevin Owens is not too happy about this. And Kevin Owens is going to be the one who's going to turn on him. And I said this a couple of weeks ago. If you guys want to go back to some of my stuff, some of my stuff on YouTube, you could check it out and you'll see some of the podcasts that I've done the last couple of weeks speaking about this. But I had it predicted for Survivor Series at the War Games. But I don't think that's going to happen because now Jay is back, which leads me to believe, not Jay, I'm sorry, Jimmy's back. Jimmy Uso's back. So I don't know who they're going to team up, but Kevin Owens right now was probably going to be the number one contender to the title. Now, which is great because, I mean, it's going to be a good match because they had a good match, but you're running it again, right? And my thing I said to someone online was this thing with Kevin Owens being a babyface and he's a heel, there's a babyface, there's a heel. I call it the Big Show syndrome. Okay. Now, the person told me, about you, what you want him to be babyface and that's it? No heel turn? No, that's not the point. The point is we all know that he's going to get another title shot and he is not going to win the belt. And second of all, Kevin Owens has not had an opportunity to really, really get even with the bloodline. This guy has been getting constantly beat up. He was getting beat up when he was feuding with Roman Reigns. He's been feuding with the bloodline for God knows for almost 2-3 years. He's still getting beat up by them. He still haven't been able to, win the war against them. So now it looks like he's not going to be able to do that because now it looks like he's going to go with Cody. My thing is, when it comes to WWE, it's like we know that what is the end game? So the end game is just to have Cody busy to set up the Rock situation because that's the way I'm looking at it, So that's how they sing it up. So now that we're talking about The Rock came back, as you guys seen. If y'all seen the pay-per-view, that's exactly what happened. But then there was a video going around and whatnot. There was a video showing Solo Sikoa with Jacob Fatu in the crowd after Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso and Cody pretty much fought them off after the match. After the Roman Reigns and Cody match, when Cody was getting attacked again by the bloodline. There was someone recorded a video. I don't know if it was a WWE person or whatever, but you hear Solo Sikoa telling Jacob Fatu after The Rock came, this is the plan. Now, what is the plan? We don't know. Does Roman Reigns think that The Rock is going to team with him at the at War Games? It could happen, but my question is, who is going to be the fourth member if The Rock is going to be part of the War Games? You know what I'm saying? And I see The Rock turning on Roman Reigns. It's going to happen because the prediction, the plan is to have The Rock versus Roman Reigns. This was supposed to be planned last year, and it never happened because the whole storyline with ending Cody Rhodes' story, whatever. And the way I'm looking at it, he was looking at both of them. Now, you don't know what was his plan, but it looks like Solo Sikoa, the reason he became the tribal chief, according to the storyline, I have a feeling that The Rock had something to do with that. He got to Solo Sikoa's head and whatnot. And him being the final boss, he's going to do whatever he wants. Now, my prediction, I could be wrong. Today is October 7th and whatnot. My prediction is I could see Cody Rhodes defending the belt against Kevin Owens, finishing that match off. But then he'll probably get betrayed by Randy Orton. Randy Orton then probably has a feud with him all the way to probably Royal Rumble, somewhere around that line. And then we could have The Rock end up beating Cody Rhodes on night one WrestleMania, and then Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the WWE Undisputed World Title, and Roman Reigns gets the belt right back. I can see that happening. Because that's what this the whole storyline. That's the way it leads to. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna say, again, I'm playing fantasy booking here. This is the way I'm looking at it, the logic way to do it. Maybe some of y'all may not agree, but it makes a lot of sense. Because you're not gonna put, remember, December, between these November and December, November and January is not really, I don't think December, there's no pay-per-view. You got SummerSlam, why I keep saying SummerSlam? Survivor Series in November. You're gonna have Kevin Owens versus either way. It could be. I'm sorry, they got Crown Jewel, but not Crown. That isn't gonna work either. And I'm gonna tell you why it's not gonna work. Crown Jewel, Kevin Owens against Cody Rhodes, because they just announced for the Crown Jewel they're gonna have Gunther versus Cody Rhodes, and then Liv Morgan versus Nia Jackson. The winner wins this green diamond belt. So that's not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. Same way that someone to put that Gunther versus Bill Goldberg, and of course it was one of these clown ass, dirt sheet talking about, do you want to see that? I don't want to see Bill Goldberg nowhere near the ring, and I don't want to see Bill Goldberg nowhere near Gunther. Okay, Gunther is not wrestling Bill Goldberg in Saudi Arabia when he's wrestling Cody Rhodes, and I'm gonna say right now also, Cody Rhodes is gonna fight Gunther. Cody Rhodes is going to end up losing to Gunther because Kevin Owens is going to cost him that. Because remember, the belts are not on the line. The belts are not on the line. I'll repeat, the belts are not on the line. This is more like I won't even call it a tournament because there's only the two world champions going at it. You know what I'm saying? But the belts are not on the line. So Cody could afford to lose to Gunther. You know what I'm saying? And he could lose to Gunther because of outside interference. And that's the best way, because if you got Gunther beating Cody Rhodes cleanly, did you just make Cody Rhodes look weak? I mean, if you look at what's going on with Roman Reigns coming back and teaming up with Cody Rhodes, and you got all these people chanting for Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes' title reign is coming to an end very soon. And I think WrestleMania is going to be that place where he's going to lose the belt to The Rock. That's my prediction, the way I'm looking at it. So I could be wrong, but and the reason I wanted to bring this up because there's a lot of moving pieces after Bad Blood. You know what I'm saying? So now we could talk about what happened with Mr. Drew McIntyre. Now you guys know that this match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk took it to the next level. It was some 1997 type Hell in a Cell match we haven't seen in years. If you talking about those who probably wasn't born in 1997 or was too little to remember 1997, we had Shawn Michaels against The Undertaker. When The Undertaker busted Shawn Michaels in that ring, he was bleeding all over the place. And that was the day that Kane was introduced to WWE. That night, that was very bloody. Ever since that, I haven't seen a bloody match since I think the last person I saw bleeding, and it was from the nose and the mouth, was Mick Foley when The Undertaker threw him off the cage in 1998. So we haven't seen anything what we saw Saturday between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. That was what we call a horrific match. And I'm not saying horrific as far as talent-wise, wrestling move-wise, but I'm talking about the blood that was shed. Now, the thing that I can say right now that, WWE took it to the next level, and it looks like they're going into the next level now, is blood. WWE has not let anything with blood happen, and I remember this clearly. The last time someone was bleeding profusely and then turned black and white was when Brock Lesnar hit the pole so hard against feeding with Triple H. He started bleeding all over his place. during that, when it happened, and you could see the blood, but when they did the following week, they were showing that they turned it black and white. So it's a whole different story now. It looks like Mr. Triple H, Paul Levesque, is now letting these wrestlers do this and whatnot. CM Punk used a wrench. Those wrenches that you use to open these big bolts, and started busting Drew McIntyre in the head with it. And Drew McIntyre showed a clip of the of the picture, which I am not going to put it up. He has staples right in the middle of his head, and they actually recorded it, and he cursed. He told the reporter to go F himself. And everybody's like, oh my God, WWE put something and he was cursing. Who cares? It's not on TV. It's not on TV. So, and they're going to be cursing more now with Netflix because I don't believe there's no muzzle, in other words, for them not to curse in the ring or curse during the taping or whatever. Because now that's the way TV is. It's streaming. So they're going to be streaming and it's Netflix. Nobody's watching. Nobody's going to put a muzzle on that. So, but it was a brutal match. This man, I got to give it Drew McIntyre. He took a beating. There was at one point, they took a piece of the bottom part of the table, the leg. They used that. They used CM Punk is slamming Drew McIntyre to the back of the table where you got the edges on the side with steel, not steel, but metal, and he had marks all over his back. He was bleeding all over the place. So was CM Punk. CM Punk took a crazy bump. I'm not a big Punk fan, but he took a bump and whatnot. So now they're going to take it to the next level, and I think WWE is going to try to do the same thing that AEW is doing and whatnot, which is not good for them. Because if you look at what AEW does when they do all these matches and all the people gets hurt and then they out for months. Are we really going to do that now in WWE? You're saying we're going to take it to that level, and now you're not going to have this wrestler around because he's hurt for God knows how many months. Look at Braun Strowman. Supposedly, he tore his groin in the match against Bronson Reed, and God knows how long he's going to be out. So, I mean, overall, this is it was a brutal injury on Drew McIntyre's head. I mean, the staples, he must have had like a matter of fact, how many times? I must see if I can find it. But he had a bunch of staples in his head and whatnot. Now, the thing is, some of these wrestlers go and do these things according to, because they want to, entertain the fans. I'm telling you right now, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 staples in his head. I don't know if you guys can see it. But it was brutal. It was real brutal. Let me see if you can see it. You can barely see it. Anyway, he had a staple right in the middle of his head. Staples in the middle of his head. Crazy. It's crazy. I mean, they took it to and now with this happening, I mean, there should be no more. That's it. The feud is over. Even though one podcast was talking about this is the most memorable Hell in the Cell. It's up there. I won't say it's the best memorable, the best Hell in the Cell in the world, because the podcaster who saying it's the best Hell in the Cell in the world, he de-rides CM Punk and WWE after de-riding AEW for years. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, again, it was a great match. I'm not gonna shit on it because at first I was like, oh, this is another rinse and repeat. These guys are feuding for the last 9 months for a bracelet. Because that's what it was. They were feuding for close to 9 months over a bracelet. You know what I'm saying? So, now it's over. I don't want to see it no more. That says done with, and they done. That's it. So now let's see Punk move on to Seth Rollins and see what that goes. Even though if they're gonna end up feuding, there's no belt in the line. So maybe CM Punk says, I don't need the belt. He doesn't need the belt, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And they could have a classic match. We'll see what happens. That is it for me today, guys. Again, this is a behind the curtain episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. So usually, I usually do some 2 stories, whatever. But this is something I needed to talk about, and when I have it ready for you guys, so you can hear it, check it out. So let me know what you think about this whole Bad Blood fallout, The Rock's impact and whatnot, him coming in and whatnot for Bad Blood. You think he gonna beat Cody in night 1 at WrestleMania? That's my prediction. Think he is, and then him and The Rock, him and Roman will go at it at night 2 for the belt. I can see that happening. Cody's parking lot attack against Kevin Owens. I think they're just putting Kevin Owens in there to have Cody busy while they set up this whole Rock thing with him, because it's gonna happen. And let me know what you think about this CM Punk, this injury. I'm sure you guys seen it. I try to put it in the camera, but I don't want to gross nobody out. But 16 stitches or whatever it was, staples, not stitches, staples in his head. Crazy as it is, but it is what it is. So let me know what you think, and I would appreciate also, guys, you want to follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, follow me on the X, and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 400. We're close. We're trying to get to 400 subscribers, guys. Share this podcast. Let everybody know what we're talking about. We don't, we're constantly doing our thing here and being on top of things and trying to bring in as much content as we can so we could give it to you guys who support the podcast. Also, check out my podcast store, TCWR, veryimpressive.com. That's TCWR.veryimpressive.com. Check out the hoodies, the shirts, the hats. We got everything in there so you can go and support the podcast, and I will greatly appreciate it. Until then, guys, I'll definitely see you guys this weekend, hopefully with more report. But we're probably trying to get some New Japan stuff we can. There's not a lot of things going on in New Japan. They got the King of Pro Wrestling coming up. They got I think they got King of Pro Wrestling plus Unleashed Spirit coming up in November. So that's that. And then of course I think this weekend we're gonna see, I'll give you my predictions on Wrestle Dream. That's what I'm gonna do. Or I'll give you my whole intake Wrestle Dreams. So we'll see what happens. So till then, guys, be safe, and I'll see you guys next week.